Hi, it's Lynn.
Hey, it's Tanya.
And we want to introduce Beth.
Hello.
We've worked with Beth for quite a while, but Beth has something to share today, and we really, really want to share this with the whole collective. So we are going to do that. We have a Facebook group, and Beth is very, very active in that Facebook group. And something kind of came up this morning in the group, and we thought we really need to share Beth's story with the collective. So go, Beth.
Well, thanks for having me. So yeah, I'm a twin flame, and I'm the DF. Let's see, my story starts back December of 2016 when I was starting to go through a divorce, and met this wonderful guy, and knew that we had a special connection, a very special connection, something deeper than I'd ever had experienced before. And the more I started trying to research soulmate or spiritual connection, up kept coming twin flame constantly. And so I kind of rolled with it. I've been through hell and back, not just personally, but even with my twin. We're currently separated. We're not speaking, communicating at all, except for in the 5D and telepathy. It's the only way we communicate. I've had a lot of things that have happened in the last several years from this. Probably within 6 months of meeting him, not even that, had a medical issue, had to have that taken care of. Then it kind of cleared up a little bit and things were going good. And then I got hit with dark soul. Then I don't know, but it was bad. I mean, I was so emotional and a wreck, couldn't think straight, and depressed. Oh, I was depressed. This year, I got in a really bad wreck. I was out of commission for about a couple of months because I'd had one surgery and was doped up on pain meds. I was loopy. So I wasn't caring about clearing anything, doing any kind of protection. I didn't even know what my name was half the time.
Then I had really quick, because before that, you had gotten really good at doing your clearings and protections, and you'd been through enough dark, legitimately understood that you were being hit with dark to the point where you were on your shit.
Yeah, I was. I mean, I knew immediately. I could feel it. I knew things were off. And I would immediately go in and start clearing. And it didn't matter whether I was driving in the car. I'd do it in the car. I'd do it fast in the car. Then there'd be other times where, okay, I've got an hour. I'm really clear the crap out of it. And I'd listen to Lin and his video that they have and really clear good. But I would clear. I would protect us. Every night before going to bed, I would protect us. Get up in the morning, I'd protect us. If I didn't remember when I first get up in the morning, as soon as it came to my mind, and usually driving to work, I would protect us.
Mm-hmm.
I was really good about it. Then I went down. Had first surgery, was looped up. Couldn't have another surgery for about 3 weeks. So after that surgery, I still looped up. And it took me till almost about the end of October or so. Mm-hmm. And I was off when I went off pain meds, and I knew something was wrong. I knew it. I completely knew it. It's like, I'm not feeling him. I'm not hearing him. He's barely showing up in 5D. Something's wrong. And I reached out to Lynn. And so
what were you feeling before that, though? Because I know that when you're saying you don't feel him, when you don't feel him, when you don't hear him, what was it like before? And then what did it turn into that was the problem?
Right. Well, the feeling before, I mean, it would kind of come and go because I was being protected from his crap that was going on. It was not to kind of drag me down. But I would talk to him every night. I mean, it was just like every night we were talking in 5D. He was showing up in 5D. We were having, a nice conversation in 5D. We never talked about the karmic. There were certain things that we never discussed. And sometimes we just sit there and, in my 5D, there's stars and there's a bonfire and a lake. And chairs, and sometimes we just sit there and by the bonfire and listen to the water and look up to the stars and not even talk. But he was there.
Yeah.
And then once I kind of got off the pain meds, I noticed he wasn't really there. I mean, it was just maybe a little bit here, a little bit there, but I definitely wasn't, feeling anything. I mean, it's hard to explain. I knew something was wrong. I knew something was not right, and I needed to get this taken care of. So I made an appointment with Lin, and we went in, and sure enough, my cord was almost destroyed. It didn't take long. It took about 2 months of me not doing anything, not sending him love, not doing anything. And so when she told me that, we fixed a few things, and I immediately went back on track. It's like clearing constantly, sending love constantly, talking to him constantly, doing all the things I was doing before. And I even tried to even amplify it even more, just because I wanted Team and everybody to know, hey, I'm serious about this. This is my guy.
Yeah.
This is my twin. I love him, and you're not taking him from me.
Yeah.
That's not how it's going to work. And so I worked really hard, and I got really excited because now I'm really getting the palpations, but it's not just in the heart chakra, it's in the higher heart chakra even. I'm feeling him a little bit more. I'll even occasionally get a whiff of something that's like, well, I'm not cooking any dinner. What's that smell? The girls didn't cook anything. They're not, no, or what is that? Just something, it's like, so I'm getting even a little bit more.
So it's
And
stronger than it was.
Right.
it's a lot better than what it was. And it has been in a while, actually, even. Like I let work and kids and everybody else kind of start taking over. And it's kind of hit and miss. Okay, I'll do this. I'll do this. I mean, even before the accident stuff, I was really like, he's mine. No hold bars. He is mine. Whether it's in this life or the next life or whatever life, he's mine. And I'm going to make sure that he feels me, whether I feel or he or him, he's going to not. Anyway.
What was really great about this was that Tanya and I have a lot of people come to us, and this has been heartbreaking for us, and this is why we get as passionate and as heated as we are about this, because Tanya and I mean, we fight dark at the highest levels. Dark knows this. We talk about it openly. But there is nothing stopping us from protecting our twins from dark. And we have been trying to teach people, trying to show people this is really important. And even just, not even the dark, but the unconditional love for your twins should be unwavering. It should be consistent all the time. There should be none of this, well, I'm going to leave him in the dark, or he's miserable. I can't see outside myself, and so I'm only going to worry about my own needs and let him figure it out. Beth has never been that way. We have so many people that we see out in the community that are struggling with this, but they don't understand that this is go time. And we've been saying this for a long time, but 3/4 of the collective was replaced with walk-ins like 2 Novembers ago, November of 2018. We put a video about it. People got really pissed off about it, said that we were just fear-mongering and stuff, but it happened. And so we had a lot of people coming to us in the last year and a half that are like, oh, now I'm like, I don't really feel him anymore. And I feel like something's really, really wrong. And it's way too late because their connection is long gone. There's already a walk-in replace them. But when Beth came to us, I was like, Beth is on her shit. And the funny thing was, I know that you've always been consistent in your journey because you've always taken your twinship seriously. I didn't tell you this. So you might not appreciate it, but I did it for a reason. When you came into this session and you were like, I feel like something's wrong, I knew that it was salvageable because you were really, you were hardcore about getting it taken care of. If you didn't really give a damn, you wouldn't have worried about it. You would have waited another month or two. But I heard Team saying, I was like, okay, what's going on here? When you first came in, I said, what's going on here? And you was like, I'm recovering. I was under all these pain meds. I had a hard time doing my clearings and protections. And I was like, shit. And Michael said, on her way out, but I knew that it was salvageable, but he was like on her way. Cause I was like, what is at play here? And he said, on her way out. And I started testing your energy right off the bat. And do you remember when your arms started flopping around?
Oh my gosh. It twitched forever. It was like, it was shaking, and it never shakes. And it was like shaking. It was freaking me out.
It was freaking you out, but I didn't tell you that the first thing I did was I started testing your energy, because like when Tanya and I will do twin validations, twins have their own energy, and our energy is not completely compatible with other soulmates or like soul levels. So soulmates have different energy. Dark people have different energy. So when the first thing I did was start testing your energy, and your twin energy was almost gone. That's why you were flipping out like that. So I was like, holy shit. Then we went right in and looked at your cord and started putting it back. And what I was hearing from Michael and from God was basically like, she can do this. Let's give her one chance and we'll see what she does with it. Because most of the time when we see twins in this position, they flop because they're like, oh, it's too hard. I'm like, now I'm in a hole and I have to climb my way out with one arm. Like, it's just too hard for people. But they had faith in you. They knew that you were going to pull this around, and you have done nothing but not only climb out of that hole, but it's kind of like you flew out of it and completely saved your twinship to the point where like you're one of the strongest twins that we know. So you're like, it was at one of these points that could have been disastrous. But what I kept hearing them say was, if it was anybody but Beth, they wouldn't have made it out of this.
Really quick, Beth, what did you do to start making the connection stronger again after your cord was built back up and everything was kind of set in place?
I would, what did I do? I kind of went back to what I was doing, but just more of it, going into the 5D constantly, I mean, I can close my eyes and I'll go immediately there, now especially, but just fighting through to get to that 5D again and making that connection, listening to the video about how to connect in the 5D, because it's like, okay, am I really connecting in the 5D, or am I just kind of making it up in my mind? And it's like, no, I'm really connecting in the 5D, but I think the biggest thing too was making sure to keep that cord full of love, sending love through that cord constantly, using the violet flame to calm our minds down, because that seems to kind of get things amped up a little bit. Using our twin flame, setting him on fire, setting me on fire, sending him back and forth, making sure he knows, hey, I'm fighting for us here. Right. I'm not going to let you go out. I'm not doing that without a fight. Even just in my head saying, hey, love you, babe, or hey.
Everything you did was on an energetic level.
Yep. The biggest thing, though, is probably trust. Trust in myself, and then that, okay, this is really, when I'm setting the intention, it's actually doing it. Trusting in team and God, because, it's like, if it's not handed to us on a silver platter immediately, we kind of like, well, I don't trust you. But trusting in them, and that's been a big obstacle, is trusting in team. And it is, I can trust them in money and in everything, providing for me and everything else, but this with him, it's the hardest thing.
That's because that's control. That's the control.
Yeah, it is. And so I'm having, and I've learned, again, I was put down for a reason. That sounds bad. Put down. Oh, I was a dog. But they needed me isolated, basically, and around people that loved me unconditionally, themselves, and to work through some few issues in that regards. But yeah, trusting in team and trusting in this whole process. I mean, this isn't this is a difficult journey. I mean, it is not for the faint of heart.
Right.
It is hard. I mean,
I can't see.
it's easy to give up. I mean, but hey, put so much time and energy into it. Why are we wanting to give up so quickly without a fight?
Right.
You know? And I guess this morning after reading something, it just really, and it's not the first time, and it probably won't be the last time either. Because every once in a while I just get it thrown up my butt and have to speak my mind.
Love it when you do.
But it's like, if you don't trust your twin and you don't trust your team and you don't have unconditional love, and I mean really unconditional love, yeah, you can say it all you want, but unless you actually feel it and understand it, then there's no point to it. And keeping that contact with your twin in the 5D. I mean, yeah, okay, we're separated. I'm keeping contact alive by being with him in the 5D. And I said, some nights we sit there and chit chat. Other nights it's just hold my hand or give me a hug, or, you know, we don't talk. And that's fine too.
You know, you when we first were checking you out, your cord, do you remember what it looked like? What had happened to it? Or what state it was in when you came out of this and you're like, something's not right, because you couldn't feel him. You weren't having that communication. It was like your connection was
yeah, and I can't remember I remember it, but I can't remember it. I want to say it was almost like full of holes, I think you said, and was starting to kind of wither. Yeah.
Yeah. The cord is a living, breathing thing. This is where your frequency between your twin goes through this cord. It is absolutely essential that you keep that frequency and that love flowing through the cord to your twin and back and forth, because that's what strengthens it. For people that are not sending that through, it almost starts to kind of get sick and almost decays a little bit. So if you're not loving your twin all the time, if you're not sending that energy and that love through the cord, and I'm not talking about just through the cord, but even when you're sending your twin love as you're moving through your day, even if you're just throwing it out there, even if you're in your car and you're like, hey, love you, babe, have a great day, or doing whatever you got to do telepathically or in the 5D, you're still pushing that love through the cord. It keeps it strong. So like what you did to rebuild the cord was just put that on, you just crank that out 100%, and we're just sending it. We see people rebuild their cords like in no time, just sending the love through the cord.
Yeah. It's
But,
like food and water to the human body.
Yeah.
The love and trust it's like food and water.
And I think you built yours up so fast, Beth, that you were like pretty much feeling him really quickly after that again.
Yeah.
Right?
Because I know we went in to check, and it just cracked me up because he said Michael was kind of sitting there laying on it like, hi.
No.
This thing is iron now. It's solid. She's got it.
Yeah.
And that made me happy because it was like, you know, that's what I was trying to do. I wanted to build that cord back up. I didn't want it to disintegrate. I didn't want to lose that. I mean, it's a special thing, you know, to think that, wow, you know, we did this. Before we ever came here, we made this pact that we were going to do this. And here we are. And I about screwed it up. For the last time. You know, I mean, I totally about did it wrong here. And, you know, to build that back up and everything is just like, wow.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And, you know, Michael was saying, basically, if it were anybody but you, they wouldn't have survived it. The twinship wouldn't have been able to pull through it. And it was surprising because they were like, she can do this. She can do this. Where I've seen people even have their cord more solid than yours was. And then a week later, Tanya and I are like, it's gone because they didn't do what they were supposed to do. And you know, the whole foundation of all of it is just love your twin. Yeah. That's all you got to do. It's like people are having such a hard time understanding unconditional love for their twin.
Yeah. I mean, all you got to do is just love them. Just love them.
Yeah.
You know, it's so simple, it's hard.
It is. You know, we want to make it.
Trying to complicate it.
Well, as humans, you know, we like to complicate things, and we like to, if it's simple, it's like, well, that's too simple. It's got to be difficult.
Exactly.
And it's like, I did the difficult road. I want to do the simple road now.
Don't we all? At this
But yeah, you know, hearing sometimes, you know, things out there that I don't have time for my twin. I can't focus on them. I've got too much on my own plate. And this and that. It's like, girl, guys, it doesn't take that long.
No.
It doesn't. You know, spend that 5 minutes brushing your teeth, sending them love. It doesn't matter. Just send them love. That's it. They just want to be loved.
The reason that it's so complicated is because, excuse me, is because everyone is thinking you have to get into this meditative state.
Yeah.
You have to sit down and meditate for hours. You have to do all this energy work. It's not hard. So, yeah.
They hear everything. And even if they don't, they're not like, oh, I'm getting this label that says it is coming from my twin. They're still receiving it. They're receiving it on the soul level. They're receiving it. Your thoughts and your communication, everything that you do, we are so integrated now. You're sharing thoughts. So if you're telling him you're loving him, he's getting it. Even if he's not like, oh, Beth is telling me that she loves me right now. It's not like that. It's received.
Yeah, it is. And when it gets sent back to you, it's really nice too. When that heart palpates, or, you know, you get the goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
I know when he's around, because I'll start feeling goosebumps. Like, you know, I can feel him like petting my head almost, or has his hand on my leg. I can feel it. And so
energy.
It's awesome.
Well, you're feeling him a lot stronger now, but you've also got love coming constantly, back and forth. I remember my cord, when I first was finding lots of dark on my twin, between us, our cord was being attacked. If you're a walk-in, if anybody out there is a walk-in, especially when cords are forming or they're starting to form, they get attacked really easy because the frequency, it's not dark coming in and like taking something and trying to whack your cord in half. Dark will actually come and affect it with the low frequency that they are, that actually prevents it from solidifying, because it's a high frequency thing. So with my cord, what happened was they were not just attacking with entities and dark shit against both of us, but they actually were pushing a dark frequency into the cord, which creates a block. And so our communication couldn't get through, to the point where it was almost dead. Our cord was almost dead. And I couldn't feel him. It's how I knew something was wrong, just like you, Beth. I couldn't feel my twin at all. I wasn't getting him. He was super off. Couldn't feel him, couldn't get him. It was like a complete disconnect. And so we had to go in there and get that crap cleared off, which isn't that big of a deal. But it's the people, I think, that are like, oh, they blame it on their twin. Like, you could have blamed it on your twin and said, oh, I'm not feeling him because he must be doing whatever, or your expectations for his being present are not being met. But really, it's not about that. It's not the twin's fault. Everything that's happening in this journey, there's a reason for it. And the DF is supposed to lead in figuring out what's going wrong. And then we have all the power and all of the, we all have abilities enough to be able to make it through this journey with flying colors. Like, if there's something wrong with your cord, well, identify it, fix it. If there's something with a distance, identify it, fix it. A lot of people aren't doing that because it's too tough, or because they figure, well, if there's this distance, or if I don't feel him, then he must be doing what he wants. And so then they just leave him in it. But we're at a point where we need twins to step up like you did, Beth, and be like, I don't feel my twin. I feel like something's going wrong and I need this fixed like ASAP. I'm getting goosebumps on that. But you did, you rocked it, and team knew you were going to rock it, because they knew that's who you are, and that's where you're coming from. So if there's any other twins out there, like we're seeing in the community every single day, twins that are, they even know that they have dark in their journeys, or they know that there's a problem, but they're like, screw it, screw him. And they're getting frustrated and just walking away. I'm going to do my own damn thing. Well, then you're going to walk off path.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been easy for me just to be like, oh, forget this whole thing. You know, I'm done with it. I couldn't do that. No way. No. It's the heart pull was so strong that I knew I needed some help in getting whatever was going on. You know, whether I didn't know, am I being attacked? You know, what's going on here? I mean, I've been out of it for a couple months. You know, what do I need to do? What do I need to do to fix this?
Mm-hmm.
And we did it.
You
And
did it.
so, you know, well, I couldn't have done it without you, because otherwise I'd been lost. I wouldn't have known.
Well,
But I was, you
we're
know,
all here and doing the same thing. I mean, I've been in positions before where I've been like, you want to get to him, you got to go through me. And it's not going to be pretty. It's like but it's non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable. And that's where we need all twins to be, which is, you want to mess with my twinship? It's going to end right here, because I'm going to love him and he's going to come first no matter what. And that's what unconditional love is. It's like I tell my twin all the time in multiple ways. I'm like, I love you more than my own life. And I've backed it up. And you backed it up, Beth. I mean, it's like Tanya has too. It's the twins that are still on path are putting their twin at such a high priority that it's like, there is nothing that's going to get in the way of this, because I love him to the point where it's like, you wouldn't leave, like I've talked about it before, you wouldn't leave your children at the kidnappers and just go have dinner.
no.
You know, you don't leave your dog in the woods and not go back and try to find them. You don't give up on them. It's unconditional love. And it's not like, it's like a mother's, but it's like for the same thing for a grown person. Doesn't matter what it takes, but I'm going to make sure you're okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you did.
So, yep.
I get kind of heated about it because like you did this morning, it was like, people are like, well, he can just whatever. Even people that admit that they have dark, if you are told that you have dark, if you know that you have dark, but you still leave them in it, you're as good as pulled. And I don't mean to be rude or bitchy about this, but if you know damn well that your twin is in dark, there are people out there that we even told them, okay, you got massive shit going on. And by the way, they're like, but I can hear the demons screaming in my ear. And I'm not talking about just demons, but dark can be anything that's a low vibration. It could be fear, doubt, whatever. But if you know for sure that you have dark in your journey and you leave them in it, it's like people are getting pulled just for not doing anything about it, because that's not unconditional love. That's, you're not loving your twin at all when you're like, well, I know you're miserable, but I'm going to blame it on you and I'm going to leave you in your hole and I'm going to go move on with my life. It doesn't work like that, especially now. Thank you, Beth. Because you are like this example that we wish all twins were. It's like,
Exactly.
it's so impressive.
Well, let me say, I just
Save the day, basically, for your own self and your twin.
Yeah.
Not very many can say that.
I you know, gone to hell and back for my twin, and I keep on fighting for him.
Yeah.
I fight for us. I fight for the twins. I fight for all the twins. And to hear, you know, anybody start to put their twin down or throw in, I love him unconditionally, but it's like, well, if there's a but, then obviously you don't.
No. Yeah.
So, you know, or I don't have time for my twin. It's like, well,
Then you don't have the time for the twinship, because this is a priority.
Yeah.
it is. It's a very big priority. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. You know, you don't have to meditate for hours. You don't have to do a whole lot of things. You know, it's like the big thing is love them,
Right.
keep them clear, keep them protected. You know, that's it.
And we're not talking about, by the way,
There's not
Archangel asking team to do it for you. We're not talking about you, Beth. But there's so many people that they come to us and they go, but I have dark all over me and my twin and blah, blah, blah. But I've got team on it. It's like, no, the reason you have, how's it working for you? That's what I want to say. How's that working for you? Because if team's taking care of it for you, then you wouldn't be noticing it. And that's not what we're here for. Team could do this all by themselves.
Yeah.
We are here to outshine dark. That's it.
Yep.
So people are smudging and using candles and doing all this kind of crap and asking team to come in, and it's not doing a damn thing. So my question to anybody that's saying, but I have dark in here, is like, how's that working for you? Whatever you're doing, it's obviously not working, or you wouldn't notice it. So
You can get upset when we say that you can't pray it away, but as twins, we're not supposed to pray it away. We, God and Michael both could handle this right by their damn self. We don't even have to be here to do this and to have this experience.
Yep.
So,
And you're on videos, especially on the house clearing and the work and that. I mean, I kind of was doing it the same way I always do before, you know. I have a couple different kind of clearings I do. I use a real big filter one if I feel really nasty or I can feel he needs it. And then there's other ones where it's like, okay, we're going to go through it really quick and we're just going to take care of it and be done. But your all's webinar the other day on the house clearing and protection was phenomenal, because it's like, well, I didn't know that. Okay, that's cool. You know, now I know.
Well, see, that's all that we're supposed to do. Like, we're not asking people to go out there and start slaying demons at all. I mean, me and Tanya will do it all day until we don't, whatever. But everybody, the twins, their job is to clear and protect in their own space and in their twin. It's like, you don't have to fight demons off, because if you're clearing and you're using the elements and you're protecting in the right way, you don't have to hand-to-hand battle anything. Mm-hmm. So it's just your energy in your space. You got to know how to clear it and you got to know how to protect it. But that's really all it takes. Yeah. If you've got some karmic sending you like voodoo with intent and stuff like that, that's a little bit different. But you still can protect and clear from that stuff. Me and Tanya can take the karmic and go get that intent stopped. But your job is to clear and protect and know your strength and how strong your light and your fire is against dark, because it's actually lethal to dark, but most of the twins don't even know how to use it.
You can do it that fast. Like stand in your shower, because the majority of us, what are we doing in the shower? We're thinking about our to-do list for the day. Okay. So you have what? Anywhere from a span of 5 minutes to 30 minutes, however long your damn shower is. You can actually
you gotta shave those legs
it out. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Drive into work. I mean, it's really simple to do it.
Yep.
It just takes. It's really good to do it in the shower, because then it's like you're kind of it's washing down the drain. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's like you've done it and everything's going down the drain, and you're clearing out your pipes, and
you can talk to team in the shower easier than you can. Water's the conduit.
Yep.
So there's various things. It's not as difficult as everybody wants to make it out to be.
Exactly.
And it doesn't take that long to do any of it at all, you know. No. If you're doing a hardcore cleanse and protection, and I mean hardcore, then yeah, it may take a little bit longer, but for the most part, it shouldn't even take that long to do. And so,
yeah.
I get like you guys when I hear other people, and I'm just like, all right, I have to say something. So about every couple of months, I'll pipe in and be like, roar a little bit.
Thank you for doing so.
Yes, because it's because you've been there.
Yeah.
You've been there.
And I don't.
Both sides. So.
And you know, I'm sorry, but it's a great journey, and I love my journey and everything, and I've learned so much on this journey. But if I could start it over again, I would do the easy path and not the hard path. And
wouldn't we all?
Doesn't work like that.
And so if I could help somebody just a little bit to make it just a little bit easier on them, by all means. Yeah. I was so glad when you guys asked me to do this, because I've done it. I mean, I've tried to sabotage this whole relationship. I've tried to sabotage this twinship. I'm good at it. And somehow I miraculously turned it all around. And finally, the light bulb went off and understood. And it's like, oh, we got to quit doing all that crap. You know, we need to do it this way.
Yep.
Team's way, not Beth's way, but team's way.
Exactly. But you did, and you pulled a miracle out of your ass.
Yeah.
It was so, I'm like totally goosebumps on this, but it was so impressive because I was like, let's watch what she does. And you just, man, you just owned it and turned it, like you flipped it on its head in like a hot second. It was so impressive. So if you can do it, I mean, we can all do it. It's like, but I just want twins to hear what you went through and how you fixed it. And everybody's capable of doing this. It's just, everybody needs to understand that they can and believe in themselves and their twin. So that's all it is. It's just love, love.
Love, trust, compassion, believe in yourself. Because everybody can do it. I mean,
Yep.
like you said, everybody can. You know, there was nothing special about me, except for I just have a lot of love for my twin.
Have innate abilities that are just automatically stronger than dark. It's just the way it is.
We are all stronger than dark. Dark knows this, but most twins don't know this.
That's the reason that it's so effective when they hit you. So.
Love it. Well, thank you, Beth. Love you much.
Love you. Mwah.
Love you. Mwah.
And love everybody. Yes, I'm on the floor because I'm comfortable and I don't care. Me and Tanya will be putting out just a really quick video that talks about all the new changes. We're going to be hitting up live Periscopes. We are going to be doing live YouTubes. We have a whole new platform where everybody can sign up for free or on different levels depending on what you want to do, where all of the information that we have about twins is all in one place. So you can go and just read up on different everything is organized. But we have lots of news. So thanks for your patience and us not being around, but we have been very, very busy. So we will share soon. And in that platform and all these places, you will find Beth and other of our amazing twins that we work with, but especially Beth, love you.
Love you guys.
Well, thanks. And until later, bye.
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 Bye.